Here's one tip for every rank in Apex Legends. All of these tips will be applicable at every level of play, so there's good reason to watch the video even outside of your rank. But I've placed them under the rank that I feel is the most relevant, so everyone can get the most out of it. With that out of the way, let's dive into it. Believe it or not, there are players out there that are actually stuck in Rookie. It might sound a bit strange because you don't lose RP if you zero out in Rookie because it doesn't have an entry cost, and you're only queued against other Rookie players. But yes, some people do actually struggle here. I'm assuming that if you actually are stuck in Rookie, you either are very new or you are lacking fundamentals. In the case of the latter, your mindset needs to change. Especially because, and I cannot stress this enough, hence me saying it again, losing a game in Rookie does not cost you any RP whatsoever. If you're stuck or struggling in Rookie, you need to stop caring about every single game and you need to start taking some fights. Drop hot, look for people to fight, don't spend the whole game looting, hiding, or generally playing passive because you don't really start getting any significant RP gain unless you get kill points. And passive Rookie players are dime a dozen, giving you a perfect opportunity to limit test yourself and your own skill and learn how to play the game and improve on a fundamental level. Not only do you need to build your fundamentals, but you need to work on your confidence as well. And avoiding comfort and actively putting yourself in an uncomfortable position will definitely help with this. Consider trying to pick aggressive but more simple, easy to learn legends such as Wraith or Octane to give you a chance to play more aggressively but still have a way back in case you need to retreat. If you are running sniper rifles, throw them in the trash and pick up a mid-range or close-range weapon such as R31 coupled with something like a Peacekeeper. The defensive legends not only make the game less fun to play, but you're probably not going to play it to its fullest 99% of the time. And you definitely won't improve by sitting in a building for the entire duration of the game. Honestly though, if you are actually stuck in Rookie, you might just have to play the game more. So that probably would be the #1 tip here. Even if you don't improve, you will eventually get into Bronze by default. And you know what? The same thing applies in Bronze. There's a small chance that a player gets stuck in Bronze, but they can at the very least not fall into Rookie. You also don't get demoted into Rookie at the start of a new split because Bronze is as far down as you can go. Players who struggle in these generally lower ranks just above Bronze tends to place too much value on their own RP because all of a sudden there's an entry cost, but it doesn't change the fact that you'll easily get into a positive net RP just by playing the game and maybe getting one squad wipe with some decent positioning. Overall, you need to forego your RP gain and focus on improving, taking as many fights as you can, and continue evolving instead of trying too hard in Bronze lobbies. Because any lesson that you learn in Bronze will be irrelevant once you finally rank up. As with Rookie, you want to abuse the enemy's lack of mechanical skill, game sense, and potentially passive or overly defensive play to your own advantage by playing aggressively and working on your own confidence. I wouldn't rely too much on the teammates here. Try to make sure that you're always alive during your fights to make sure that you have control of the outcome of every single fight. Try to figure out when a fight is completely lost and when you need to bail versus when you can clutch it up. Ratting is generally not the best in a wall hack meta that we're currently in, but you can always get away with it for a little bit rather than outright losing a full team fight and netting a few extra points and a little bit of loss mitigation. You generally need about 1 kill and top 8 to break even in Bronze, so depending on your playstyle, you don't even need a full squad wipe to guarantee that you actually progress, though it certainly helps. Things start getting a bit more expensive as Silver, as you won't break even until top 5 without a kill and top 6 with 1 kill. Players in Silver know this, but will generally opt for an extremely passive playstyle, to the point where it renders them unable to actually make any executive action. If you want to climb and improve in Silver, make sure to take early fights and don't stay in one place for too long, especially around the edges of the map and the map's hotspots, as these are going to be littered with Silver players who are just sitting around without a proper game plan, eager to jump on the first opportunity that presents itself. Ideally, you'll want to stay clear of these central areas or try to gatekeep and hold teams right outside of these hot zones out of the ring, but you have to be very careful not to get gatekept yourself. All of the lobbies will generally look the same all the way up to Gold. When your lobbies will start mixing up a little bit, with players varying between Silver, Gold, and Platinum, with the occasional Predator stack if you're in a very low populated server at a weird time. The scoring isn't much different here than in Silver, but the combination of both the Golds playing hyper aggressive, as that's how they got out of Silver, and the higher ranked squads pushing every fight that they can see once they realize they're in an easier lobby, means that you want to be careful about what fights that you take. It might be in your best interest to look for early fights to secure some early kill points, then look for fights that are favorable. If you can't find any, the passive RP will slowly come in as the lobby continues imploding on on itself. I of course think that taking fights and playing aggro is a great way to improve, and you do have a great chance to work on your game sense here, trying to figure out which fights are good to take and which aren't, but you have to be wary that many of these will cause a 4th, 5th, all the way up to 8th party moving forward. Platinum lobbies are going to be significantly sweatier than gold, with the lobbies again switching up a little bit, where you either have true platinum lobbies where players will generally try to play smart and defensive and passive when necessary, or the whole lobby will just simply implode around the occasional predator team who just pushes anything that they see. If you see a predator team as a champion, or notice a team tearing up the rest of the lobby in the kill feed, you might want to try to rotate and play for the late game instead of challenging this team directly, and either trying to force them into a bad position and winning with positional advantage, or just simply holding them out of the zone. The average platinum player is often stuck in this rank because they specifically lack any direction. Take the reign if possible and try to communicate a game plan to your team. Even ping or tell your teammates to come with you if they get too tunnel visioned on one specific thing. Ensure you're not overstaying in one position for too long, as other rotating teams might find you and instantly take a fight that messes up them, your team, and any other team that just happens to be running by. Now, getting into Diamond is another pretty big jump in difficulty. In Platinum, you might see the odd Diamond team or so when a matchmaker needs to combine lobbies, but Diamond is almost exclusively Diamond and up teams, with a large influx of Master and Predator teams. Masters and Predators are very often in full stacks and generally will be your biggest threat. You want to find early kills against other Diamond or lower teams, as these are your biggest chances of finding kill points, and then bring those kill points with you until late game, ideally avoiding any fights with high-ranked steamrolling teams. You can benefit from rotating into the late game early, but this depends on your lobbies, as you might run into other teams that force bad fights in the final zone instead of the typical forcing a bad fight on the edge of the ring. Your biggest threat is either recognizable names as champions or becoming kill leader, or of course the anonymous mode masking names to show up as legend plus numbers. If you want to instill fear into the other diamonds in your lobbies and get a little bit of respect from the master stacks, you can turn on anonymous mode yourself to trick everyone that you too are a streamer that needs to be respected. If you manage to climb to master, congratulations, you're in the highest skill bracket ranked can give you. Matchmaking will look the same no matter what your RP count is at this point, meaning the game will try to put you in lobbies with other masters and predators, and then occasionally filling up the lobbies with diamonds and sometimes all the way down to gold to keep the queue times within a few minutes. Your best bet with climbing in master is finding yourself some easy early kills, usually through an early contest in one of the edge drops, or looking for a smart contest that you can roll in and easily clean up. You can then make the decision of either looking for more fights or being smart and using rotations to get into the late game and then set up. Just like in Diamond, the sweatiness of your lobbies will vary, but you're more often than not going to benefit from getting early kills, a little bit of loot, and then playing for the late game. Rotational and overall meta legends are a must-have at this point. I'm honestly not sure why you're watching my video if you're a Predator yourself, and even though this piece of advice does apply to every rank, it's even more applicable in Predator since there isn't really anywhere to go but climbing the leaderboard. If you haven't already, and wow, props if you got this point solo, start stacking. Play in a full pre-made squad of like-minded individuals to build synergy and improve as a team. The difference between a bottom Predator team and a top Predator team is a good understanding of macro knowledge, rotations, and positioning rather than individual mechanical or fundamental skills. Who knows? If you play good enough, you might even find your way onto an ALGS roster and compete for the big bucks, because that's really the only vertical from here. If you are interested in seeing me explaining my decision making in my solo to master climb this season, check out the video on the screen. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.